happening, everybody? This is The Shift. I am Ace the Outsider.
I'm Sir Aimézing.
And we have another great show for you guys today. We have Amina the Empress in the building. She's a songstress, lyricist, songwriter, magnificent voice, of course.
Pipes.
Right. And then after that, we're going to the second shift with...
Sam Tiger, owner of our own sports marketing agency. He's coming to join us. Fred Jackson, Buffalo's favorite, Buffalo's own sports agent.
That was one of our clients.
Office. Yes, that's
like that.
That's our biggest client.
And then after that, to wrap everything up, we have Amina the Empress performing with Neo Groove, one of the bands coming up in the city, so that's going to be pretty tight. So it's going to be a good show for you guys. Stay tuned. It's a shift. What's going on, everybody? ATO Ace the Outsider here on the first shift. I'm joined by a very lovely songstress by the name of Amina the Empress.
Hey, y'all.
Very excited to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I've known you for a while. And
Yes.
At first, I didn't know you were into music, because for a long
crazy.
time you weren't really doing. At least I didn't see like a lot of music going on.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, boom! You just singing. And you have this lovely voice. I'm just like, where? So tell me a little bit about like how you got into singing.
So I've been singing most of my life, as a kid especially. I was singing in church, young soloist, which they put me on the spot. I was always very shy, which is why I wasn't really out with it.
That's what it was.
I was in a bunch of choirs throughout middle and high school, and then honestly didn't start singing out until, which is weird, until my cousin passed away in 2015, and I felt like that was like my time to really, I needed to live, because I noticed how short life really is, you know?
And he was in music too, wasn't he?
No, he was a pilot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So then you got to sing and you started doing your own thing, and people just gravitated to it.
Yeah.
And you're more of a neo soul artist, I would say? Right, so
absolutely.
what do you take inspiration from is going into that genre? Because with that, it's a little bit more different than R&B.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
I grew up on jazz, so like I was I would say jazz, but kind of old soul in a sense. I don't really know what to call that genre, but like I listened to Sade, Anita Baker, Diane Reeves, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott, Maxwell, you know, that's a lot of the neo soul side. Then the musically, I mean, Chris Bodie, all types of jazz, David Sanborn, so.
Right. So how do you stand out kind of as a neo soul artist? Because I mean, neo soul is still popular. It's always had like its own little cult following in a way.
Absolutely.
So how do you stand out? Really, how do you think you stand out?
I know, right? The Empress. I feel like my music is kind of interesting. I read something the other day. It's like making purpose popular.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that's my tagline, but I really am into like the consciousness, like bringing out the inner self and within my music, and then I think that inspires people to bring out their inner self and their true self. So that is a little bit different from, I would say, the standard neo.
So let's go into something outside of your music. Now you're also involved with the group Pantherca, right? So Pantherca, they've been doing a lot of things in the city. They had a party last month at the art show. So where was your place in that organization?
What's interesting is they're like all my older siblings now, which is really cool. But I'm kind of like the graphic design and screen printer, I would say. I do the screen printing, make t-shirts and so on.
Nice.
But it's interesting because everybody really has like a perfect piece of the team. You know, we all kind of have our own unique part that we add. So I think I'm kind of like the youngest I'd say. Okay. But definitely like the graphic design side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You designed a shirt too, of course.
I did, yes.
I like the gold.
Thank you.
The gold represents the Empress a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what's up.
Thanks.
So, and then do you usually sing by yourself, or did you find a band that kind of followed you the right way, or?
I started out singing with a specific band, and it's interesting because musicians in the city are like everywhere. You know, they play with so many different people. Right. So it's hard to really lock down a one set band. So I got to know a ton of musicians in the city. I played with everybody. Yeah. You know, and even any and everybody. But like my original band was called Empress and the Royals. And then it was, like I said, it was hard to keep the same consistent people. Yeah. But I got to know so many new people in the scene, so. Right. I've been all over the place.
Right, and you got 4 more people adding on because Neo Groove is going to be joining us later.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Absolutely. So tell me about your next project. I know you have something coming up. It's called The Odyssey?
Yes, it's called The Odyssey. It's going to be a multi-part project. And it's more of the consciousness movement, but just a little bit of kind of a different spin on it. And I don't have a date. I'm not giving a date. I'm just going to kind of surprise you, so you need to be following Empress Music on Instagram.
Right.
As well as Amina the Empress on SoundCloud. I'll make sure, you get a little bit of a teaser, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the Odyssey, why the name the Odyssey? Because when you think of the Odyssey, you think of like a journey, you think of something that's a little bit mystic, you think of something that's a little out of the ordinary.
Right. So when I think about like just my journey in life in general, especially spiritually, it's kind of like in space in a sense. It's like outside of this realm. It's kind of in, I'd say, different atmosphere. So the Odyssey really makes me think of like a spacey kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then especially with astrology and like so many different elements that relate to space, that just, I feel like I can take it so many different places.
I think so. So like, all right, so let's do a little bit of imagination here. So the Odyssey is kind of like the spacey thing. You're familiar with Afrofuturism and like that type of thing. Absolutely. So do you see yourself bringing the Afrofuturism thing to like your presentation of whatever you do?
Most definitely.
Okay, excellent. So kind of can you describe what you see like on stage happening if you were to perform this like at the Grammys or something like that? Would you come out like a robot suit? Would you have like people dancing in a certain way?
I don't know. We might have to just wait and see. Because the album release is going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be very different from, I think, what we've been seeing around here locally. And I'm definitely going to play with a lot of space themes and a lot of outside of the box things you wouldn't expect. So.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Excellent. So guys, we're going to get ready to go to the second shift. Amina, where can we find like your music and your tags and things like that?
So I have a website, which is empresslah.com, LAH.com. Again, Instagram is Empress Music, and my SoundCloud is Amina the Empress. I also have a Facebook fan page, Amina the Empress. So I pretty much post everything throughout those sites.
All right, sounds good. Guys, we're gonna get ready to go to the second shift. Aimézing's gonna be joined by Sam, who is a sports coordinator, sports manager. So things are gonna be pretty interesting. So guys, and Amina, you're performing at the end of the show. So guys, stick around for that.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, this is the shift.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the shift. I'm Sir Aimézing. I'm joined by Sam Tiger, owner of a sports marketing agency. We do things different when you talk to me, okay?
All right.
I want you to loosen up a little bit. We're going to go with the fast five.
Okay.
First question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Fly fast.
Why?
Because I don't like airports.
Interesting. Favorite artist?
Drake.
What did you listen to this morning? First song.
That's hard. I don't know. I can't remember.
Was it Drake?
No.
Was it a good Drake song?
Actually, it was Missy Elliott.
Really?
Yeah.
What song?
That Can't Stop the Rain one.
I Can't Stop
Yeah,
the
that
Rain.
one.
Okay. What's your favorite meal?
Homemade chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Anything in a crock pot is my go-to.
Crock pot.
Leave it, come
box.
back
Oh,
in
sorry,
a hot
I was going
box.
into my Migos mode. Last question. I know I did more than 5, but what's your favorite Nickelodeon cartoon as a kid? What was your favorite Nickelodeon cartoon?
Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold? Interesting. I'm wearing red, but I don't got the fro up. Let's get into the interview. Talk to me about what inspired you. What inspired you to want to own your own sports marketing agency?
I really, really loved football as a kid, but I was a girly girl, cheerleading, dance, and I just loved going to NFL games. And my dad actually, we were trying to pick out colleges, and I said, I don't know what I want to do. And he goes, what do you like? This is probably one of the best pieces of advice I'd ever got. He said, well, try to make a living doing something you love. What do you love? I said, I love football, and it just kind of went from there and pushed me into the industry and the choices that I made.
Was there a moment, like was there a specific game that you went to where you just sat there and you were like, I love this game?
I kind of just picked up on all the different moving pieces that go on during a sporting event. You've got the marketing side, you've got the playing side, you've got the sponsorship side. So it's just really fascinating to me that and pretty much loved that aspect.
Talk to a person who doesn't. I've been on sports teams. I know what it's like to go to a sporting game, the event, and you don't even think about the game itself because there's so much going on. So just talk about the type of responsibilities that you have behind the scenes and what it's like for you to go to a game.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different. I'll be the person, sometimes I'm at the game alone, So that random person that'll kind of slide in. Ideally, typically on an NFL Sunday, if a player has some type of giveaway or promotion, I'll make sure that's executed, make sure that his signed items are in the right place, kind of just assist them in whatever they need before the game as well as after, any media interviews or anything of that sort that they may have.
Do you enjoy it? Because me personally, I'll be honest, I don't like going to live sporting events anymore. It's just boring to me. I'd rather be at home with all the comforts in my home, but it also could be a lot of work. That's the other thing I was talking about. So do you enjoy it? Like, you ever in like a press box, you got to talk to a certain publicist or talk to a certain media outlet or anything like that? Is that stressful, or do you enjoy all that?
I enjoy the stress. I think I strive off of it. That's kind of where I go. I get the energy, the adrenaline rush, and I mean, I don't like anything to go wrong, but if it does, event planning and marketing, it's kind of just problem solving, so I love it.
Okay. Your biggest client, or one of the most popular clients in the city, would probably be Fred Jackson, former Buffalo Bill running back Fred Jackson.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about the process of, getting someone of that high status in the city to be one of the people you represent.
I think with Fred, it was based off of kind of relationships that I've established with agents. So his agent is based out of Buffalo. Him and I it was pretty easy and fast in that sense. We had lunch and we kind of were on the same page with things, which led us to generate a contract, which kind of pushed Fred's image off to me. And we went from there. But in sports, there are so many different personalities, player-wise, agent-wise. I mean, there are the Jerry Maguire types. That's not how it really actually is in the sports world. But, you have to connect with people and make sure you're on the same page. And that's how it worked. And Fred's also on the same page, so it's just a really nice team. And we all work well together.
Okay, that's all sounds pretty awesome. I know you represent a few other players in a few other leagues as well. But talk to me. There's something that stood out to me. What does it mean, led by your dreams?
That's actually a quote out of Peyton Manning's retirement speech, where he said, "Football taught me to be led by dreams, not obstructions." For me, I know I've come through some points in my career where I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. We all kind of go through that in life. So to me, my dream was always to be an agent, be working with players, do some sort of representation. And so that always just pushed me, and it's been my tagline for my company. Peyton's my favorite player of all time, so it kind of just fit hand in hand.
That's beautiful. Because when I hear that, one of the biggest things about this show and talking to the youth is to be led by your dreams. So talk to me about, break down some of the struggles, the tough parts that come with, following that dream. There's adjustments in the timetable. Break that down for the
Absolutely.
For the
I think nowadays we have a sense of people that want to settle on things. And of course you do have to pay the bills, and I've worked a retail job while launching my agency, so I've done certain things to be able to do that. But I really am a strong believer that if you want to do something, whatever your dream is, you might have to do some things that aren't so fun to get there, but you can get there. I don't like to see people kind of just settling and not going after what they want to do. So if you've got to do something to get there, if you've got to take extra courses, I know I've had to get certain certifications and then work other jobs to pay for that. It's a rolling wave, but you definitely can get there.
You know what? That's so awesome, because have you ever read the book The Alchemist?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this quote is from Paulo Coelho. All right, I want you to read my shirt out loud.
All things are one, and when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. That's pretty much what I just said.
Exactly. And that's pretty much going to be it for this part of the shift. Up next, we've got Amina Empress. We got Neo Groove. We about to rock out a little bit. That's it for this shift.
The shift, we have Amina the Empress featuring
Neo Groove.
Enjoy the show, guys. featuring Neo Groove.
Definitely, we want to make sure we get our contest winners in for the shirt from this week. We've got two contests. Thank everybody for getting in. Let me get in the screen, man. I can't even see me. It's like a whole congregation out here. So everybody, you see our we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to thank Amina us with some beautiful music. Hey, send us away, please.
All right, guys. You always know at the end, shift up. Peace out, guys. Good?
Cut.
All right, cool. Sweet.
That was beautiful.